Welcome to No Stats, what we call how we see it.
Back again with another one.
Back again, bro, and we staying in the NFC East today, right? We missed one of the squads, so we gotta get through this division. But before we jump into this team preview, as always, make sure y'all like, share, subscribe, send it to a friend, and ring that bell so y'all can stay locked in and in tune with all the content that me and Peach gonna flood y'all with again and again. Football is back. We ready. We gonna flood y'all, like we said. So y'all just, ring that bell so y'all can stay locked in, and we're gonna do our thing.
Watch the handle, it takes skill. We gotta run it back. We in the field, and you said it Jason Jack. You in your field, we looking for the facts. Let's keep it real, yeah, we talking no stats. Yeah, we talking no stats. Yeah, we talking no stats.
Bro, Washington. Redskins, Commanders, whatever you want to call them. Magic Johnson just moved into
$1
ownership.
team, man.
Eric Bieniemy
$1
just came over as offensive coordinator from the Chiefs. It's been a lot going on in this organization. There's been a lot of discussions around plans of a new stadium, which they need. Before we jump in, I went to a Bengals story time real fast. I went to a
I love
Bengals
story time.
Commanders preseason game 2 year ago. The year the Bengals made the run to the Super Bowl preseason game. I think it was week 3. First time being to the stadium, bro. This is the worst stadium in the National Football League. It is horrible,
Damn,
bro.
yeah,
And then
I was thinking they had a new stadium.
nah, bro. They talking about it, and then after I went. I started seeing videos like they had sewage water spilling at the top of this. It was just, I don't know, bro. That's a bad stadium. I hope they get a new stadium quick. Sorry, Commanders fans. I ain't trying to bash y'all stadium, but if y'all been to the games, y'all know y'all need a new one too.
Savage already started.
As y'all revamping everything, just revamp that as well. But nah, bro, this is a squad that they have talent, right? They got a lot of talent. Chase Young. Terry McLaurin, that whole defensive line.
Then we got that running back, Brian Robinson, right?
Payne, Deron Payne. I don't know why I'm drawing a blanks on the defensive line, but that defensive line is stacked. The defense
And I
plays
know,
well.
I know how everyone looks at preseason, but Sam Howell looked all right during preseason, man.
He did.
You know what I'm saying? In that game where they ended the Ravens win streak, I think he was like 19 for like 25. I think he had 2 touchdowns, all in one half. And like I said, but them ending that win streak and they might be a fun team to watch, man. They might not win a lot of games, but I think they're gonna be fun to watch. New ownership, just just a new year, man. The first couple weeks, we always say real football don't start until week 6.
Yeah, around Thanksgiving, I think that's when you find out who's who and what's what. But no, Sam Howell did look great in the preseason, to your point, bro. But I still think, unless Sam Howell comes out and he's something that no one saw, I still think the Commanders need their quarterback. I think they almost had it with RG3, years ago. We came in and, went crazy for them. But I think injuries cut his career short, but I think they're still looking for that guy. Maybe this next upcoming draft, they'll get it. But let's jump in, bro. Last year they missed the playoffs. Obviously, they did beat the Eagles and hand Jalen Hurts his only loss of the regular season, I believe. So, they do fare well in their division. They can upset you. You can't take them lightly. But jump into some of the key losses. Carson Wentz. I got a feeling you like Carson Wentz.
I do like Carson Wentz. Why do you I don't get why you just attack me like that. I am a Carson Wentz guy, man.
Carson Wentz, Baker Mayfield, like they're all in that basket that Peach picks out of every morning with bananas. They're in that fruit basket that Peach grabs his bananas out of every morning.
Oh man, I like that. I like the guys that what I'm saying, they could sneak up on you. You never know what type of game you might get from them guys, man.
They gonna sneak up on you in the food court. You gonna be like, Carson Wentz. Why ain't you playing this? They add Bobby McCain. They lose Bobby McCain. Apologies, safety. They lose Taylor Heineke, so they lose 2 quarterbacks. They also lose Trey Turner in the guard, and they lose Cole Holcomb at backer. They get Jacoby Brissett as an insurance policy at quarterback, which I do like. I think Jacoby can win you some games. They had Nick Gates at center, Andrew Wiley, who was the right tackle coming off a Super Bowl championship, right tackle for the Chiefs. And then they draft Emmanuel Forbes. They draft Jatavius Martin, I believe, from Illinois. And then I think maybe the biggest addition outside of Andrew Wiley is Eric Bieniemy, the Chiefs offensive coordinator for the past, X years. I don't know how many, but was there for both of those Super Bowls that Patrick Mahomes and Travis Kelce and company has. So you hope that he brings some of that firepower to Washington and that, scheme and get that offense clicking a little more. Andrew Wiley, in addition of Nick Gates, you hoping you got some guys that can give Sam Howell some time back there. You have weapons. Like I said, you got Terry McLaurin, you got Johan Dotson out of Penn State, who's a beast. You got Curtis Samuel. They got some players. You mentioned Brian Robinson Jr. They got Antonio Gibson. So there's some talent there, right? It's just about putting the pieces together. And the big question mark is Sam Howell. And no pun intended, but how is he going to play this season? How is Sam Howell going to play? So I think that's a big question mark, right? And then you worry about Chase Young's health. Can he stay healthy throughout the entirety of the season? Is there room for this defense to keep going in the right direction, right? If the offense isn't clicking like Eric Bieniemy should get them up and running, the defense ends up being on the field a lot. And then that's when injuries happen and fatigue kicks in when you're on the field, and time of possession isn't even because your offense can't get first down. So, sometimes that can make the defense look a little watered down. And even though the NFC is junior varsity, they're in a tough division. They got the NFC champions and the Eagles. They got the Dallas Cowboys, who's America's team, who did win 12 games last year, right? You got the Giants, who won 10 games last year and got better this offseason. So if you want a sure bet, I am very sure that they will finish last in that division because that division is so tough. But what's your thoughts on this squad, bro? Talk to me about the Commanders.
Oh, man, I think they're in a position to kind of shake things up within their division. I can see this team splitting with a lot of the teams in their division. But outside of that, I don't think they can really do much in the NFC. And you could kind of look at it as, like you said, all else fails, you point towards the draft at the end of the season. They need to find their quarterback if Sam Howell's not that guy. And I think if they can get a playmaking quarterback in the draft that could come in, that could turn this franchise around, get them, because that's what it all starts with, the quarterback. If you got a quarterback that you can actually build around and actually put those pieces together, then I could start seeing this Commanders team on the rise. But, new ownership this year. You don't really have nothing to lose. Just go out there and just play football and have fun for real. And I know that's kind of like a cheesy way to look at it. But how else can you look at it if you're a Commander or a Commanders fan?
Yeah, and I think a lot of I'm like I know Commanders fans. The one Commanders fan I know who's supposed to be a guest on the show. A lot of our guests got kids, and we can't schedule around they bedtimes and all of that. But it's all good. We'll have them on. But the Commanders fan I know, he's very honest about the squad. He knows that they need to make some changes and get a quarterback. But the hope lies in you've been seeing changes at a higher level. Like I said, you got Eric Bieniemy in there. You got a new owner. That culture sometimes bleeds down. So if the ownership change and then they're talking to the GMs and the coaches, that rubs off on them and it rubs off onto the players. So new stadium. So, if they get that. So headed in the right direction. You just need that franchise. You need that face.
They got to, come on, bro. 10 different quarterbacks since 2019. That's a lot of guys.
Sheesh, that was like a year ago.
Come on, bro. We're going into year 4 You know what I mean? You don't have nobody that your organization is really taking seriously. Like the guys in the past have not worked. These guys that you're signing on deals, like you said, the RG3 was like the closest thing that you really got to. You know, he was electrifying, man, with what he was
and
doing.
Kirk Cousins.
Yeah, Kirk. But I think they got pre-Kirk.
Like
they
this?
Get swag.
They did.
They didn't get swaggy swag, Kirk.
But that's when Kirk had the famous line, "You like that?" when he came back in the locker room. But question for you: do you think it's possible, or it's definitely possible, does Jacoby Brissett end up starting quarterback at some point this season? Does Sam Howell not perform well and you end up seeing Jacoby Brissett in there?
I mean, if I'm coaching, I definitely would if Sam Howell is not performing. I think Jacoby's a phenomenal backup. Like you said earlier, he can win you games. He's a veteran now in this ball club. And, I mean, if all else fails and you playing for the draft, try something else out. Maybe you might catch yourself in a situation where you're 3-3. You switch things up. Maybe you can get a couple games, and then maybe we might get a wild card. You know what I'm saying? Like maybe, and you know what I'm saying, we might get something there.
Washington fans about to love Peach because I'm not saying that. I'm not thinking that.
5-3? Come on, man.
Speaking of 5-3 and playoff possibilities, let's jump into the schedule, bro. The squad was 8-1 last year. Is that correct? Were they 8-1 last year?
They did have the tie. I forgot who they tied with though.
Were they really 8-1 last year?
I think so, bro.
I'm checking my own work.
Hey, man. I know they definitely had the tie. Who did they tie with? Like the Raiders or something?
Were they really 8? They were 8-1 last year. I mean, for some reason I thought they tied with the Giants. Them and the Giants. The Giants was 9-7-1. And they tied with them. But so last year, I mean, you go 500. I think that's exceeding expectation. But Taylor Heineke also, I think, is because they were in the playoffs. Let's not forget, Taylor Heineke took this team to the playoffs. What was that? The year Brady won the Super Bowl 3 years ago, and gave Brady his toughest game. So they
saw them in the
playoffs. In the first round. Yeah, remember Taylor Heineke almost had them boys in the game and pulled off an upset.
Shaking.
But 8-1 last season. You start the year off with an extra preseason game. So Sam Howell looked good in this preseason game, week 1 versus the Cardinals, because that team is horrible. Week 2 though, they go on the road, Mile High City against Denver. I think that'll be a tough one. I think they'll get out coached. Maybe, Sean Payton, and that Broncos defense is still elite, right? They just couldn't get it going offensively, and Sean Payton to turn that thing around. Russell Wilson should play better. There's nowhere to go from last year. I think that's a loss. Then they play the Bills at home. Bills are just a better team, better quarterback. I don't got to explain too much there. Loss. Lose to the Eagles in Philly. I think Philly will be on guard here early in the season. Make sure they get that win there. So that's 3 losses in a row there. I went back and forth between week 5 and week 6. I think the Commanders win one of these games and lose the other. I went with the Bears because it was home. I kind of want to flip them because I have them beating. I have them winning a couple other home games, but we're gonna leave it as is. I think they can beat the Bears at home. I think if Chase Young and that defensive line has Justin Fields running for his life, because the Chicago Bears offensive line is still an issue. If he's not able to get through some gaps and go north and south, if he ends up running east and west, I think they can beat them. So I gave them the win there. Losing to the Falcons did add a lot of veteran players on that defense. And there was another team that played well last year. I think they might have had a similar record. They might have been 8-9 or 9-8 or something like that. So that'll be a good matchup. But I think the Falcons pull that one out. They lose to the Giants in New York. They'll beat the Eagles at home. For some reason they always beat the Eagles tough. They not, but who cares? I don't like them anyway. It's like, no, let me chill. They'll beat the Eagles week 8, and I don't think that's too out of whack. It's a division game, bro, and the NFC East is one of those divisions where they're gonna beat up on each other, bro. You rarely see blowouts in the NFC East, no matter what two teams are playing. It's always close, so I think they can pull that one out. And Commanders, there should be some confidence behind them knowing we beat this team last year. So when there, they got to go to New England. Bill Belichick's record against young quarterbacks is like 29-0. And then they go to Seattle. And the 12th man had to deal with Pete Carroll and Geno Smith and DK Metcalf and that young squad. So through the first 10 weeks, brother, they are 3-7. So what you say, 3-5? What you was hoping for?
5-3 at least. 3-7. So we didn't get our mark. But I like the week 1 opener versus the Cardinals. I think you come out at home, build a lot of confidence. Like we've been saying all show, new ownership, everybody hot, everybody.
Take the -7. Take the -7, by the way.
-7. Fuck around, Cardinals win by 25. Stay away. But and then why is this schedule so fucking tough for this team?
It's tough,
man.
bro. The whole division got a tough schedule. The entire division has a tough schedule.
That week 2 through 5. I mean, even you're playing the Bears at home, but even that's going to be a tough game.
Yeah.
And then you're going to Atlanta, then you're going to New York, and then shit, we're probably being generous giving you this week 8
Seriously.
win versus the Eagles, man. So this is tough, man. I'm like, damn, where the home games at?
Bro, it's tough. Bro. I think week 1 is the only guaranteed win. They can very well be 1-9 by week 10.
This is tough, man.
But I'll finish with the rest of the schedule, and then I'll save my remarks. Something I've been wanting to say to Commanders fans from the bottom of my heart. I mean it sincerely, but I'll wait till we get through the rest of it. Week 11, home against the Giants. I think this is another one of these games, right? We just said they tied last year. They'll play them tough and maybe, squeak out a win there week 11. So gave them the W. At Dallas, home against the Dolphins right before the bye. Tough schedule. 2 really tough teams on the road in that division game. So gave them the L there. Then they go into the bye week in week 14, but they come out of it in week 15 across country in LA. But this Rams team, man, it just seemed like they sold everything for that Super Bowl.
That Super Bowl
bro,
just falling apart. That wagon just falling off the wheels and shit. The fucking bumper.
Seriously, bro.
God damn.
Oh, man. And now it's looking like Cooper Kupp's, health is in jeopardy, isn't in question. I see so many reports about them possibly trading Aaron Donald before the trade deadline because of all the picks that they gave up. So they really don't have a future. They traded all them picks for that Super Bowl. And
is it worth it? I know this is not a Rams take, but is it worth it? You got the ring, man.
I mean, yeah, it is. But now you just got to deal with this. Like, I hope you partied and you had a blast because I think it's just, it's going to be tough. It's going to be tough for the Rams.
Man.
It does. But week 15, I got them winning that, in LA. And then last 3 weeks of the season, at the Jets, 49ers, Cowboys, all playoff teams in my eyes. So I think, the stakes will be much higher for those squads. And I don't see the Commanders standing a chance. So what I wanted to say is, go 1-9, Commanders fans. Go 1-9, then lose to the Giants, go 1-10. Be 1-12 by the bye week. Beat the Rams coming out the bye week, and then lose the rest. Get 2 wins. Go get Caleb Williams. Go do it. Go do it. Seriously, bro. I
thought Caleb was going to the Cardinals.
He is. It's gonna be hard. It's gonna be hard to be worse than the Cardinals. But or go get, who's Drake May from North Carolina if he ends up being. You probably won't need the number 2 pick, but I just say that to say, like, not there's no point in winning. You want to play football, right? And Sam Howell could be the guy. So if Sam Howell's the guy, this take means nothing. But if you see that he's not and you're losing some games, and like I said, by the time you get to week 10, you're 1-9, make a U-turn. And I don't know where to draft at next year, but just drive there and get a hotel for the rest of the rest of the winter until the draft.
I'm trying to stay serious, man.
Drive there and get a hotel and just wait, bro, and figure it out. And trust me, like I'm not even saying this to be funny. I'm speaking from experience. Like when the Bengals went 2-14, and I knew Joe Burrow was the guy. Don't win no more games. Go get your guy and figure everything else later. Because then you can make a quick pivot, when you get that guy. So, but I rest my case. Just wanted to say that, Peach. 5-12. Talk to me.
Commanders, I hope y'all had y'all pen and pad out and just wrote down what Seth just said. You know what I'm saying? Go and get y'all quarterback of the future if shit ain't working out, man. But I think this schedule is as expected. It's just so tough. They don't have any window to like relax or let up a little bit. I mean, you play the Dolphins and then you're going right into the bye and then coming in playing in LA against this Rams team. And I know guys is writing them off, but I think that's another here you go win, be happy with this. This could very well be an L too.
True.
And then you're in New York. And then you got to see San Fran and the Cowboys at the end. Just,
tough.
I guess the NFL was like, you know what, week 1 we're gonna, build
Here's
you guys up.
That's what it's extra preseason.
Down
yeah. It's tough, bro. It's tough. All right, so go ahead, bro. This is gonna be tough, but give me a win, you'll change to an L. And the L you'll change to a win. I think the win to an L gonna be easy, but the L to the go ahead.
The L to the win is you got to go within this division, man, and I got to go week 18 versus the Cowboys. Even if I could see a scenario where the Cowboys might be trying to play for the 1 seed in the NFC, I don't think it's impossible. And the Commanders come in like, yo, let's spoil this party, man. You know what I mean? Fuck what they playing for. I know we playing for a draft pick right now. I know they want us to lose, but fuck that. We gonna get right. We gonna get this dub at home. Yeah. Go out with a bang. Brought the season in with a bang, and now you want to go out with a bang. You know what I'm saying? And have some of that energy carry over into the off season and into the following season as well. And a win that I would change to an L. I'm not gonna do the obvious and go within the division. On the Eagles side, but I'm gonna stay within the division. I'm gonna go week 11 versus the Giants. Giants sweep, man. Nothing personal, but I just think the Giants, kind of show them who's the real middle brother of this division, and that's crazy even to say.
Seriously, fighting for third. Yeah, bro. No, I agree, bro. I think if I had to change it quickly, I think I would change that W in week 5. Staying out of the division. I think the Bears, right, if Justin Fields and DJ Moore, they can be the team that we expect them to be, with all the hype's around, I think that can be a loss. And then the loss that I would change to a win, I'm going to take a shot in the dark, and I'm going to say the Bills week 3. I feel like this Bills team can
even
be
at the
upset
Bills
early.
low key, boy.
And I'm gonna say that because Von Miller will be out the first 4 weeks, and I don't think they'll get a lot of pressure without Von Miller. So I think that'll play in the Commanders' favors. But Commanders fans, talk to us. 5-12. Is that generous? I think it might be a little generous. Give us y'all predictions. What did we miss? What we not thinking about? Is Sam Howell the guy? Do y'all good with that? Y'all don't want to hit the draft, hit some other areas. Let us know. Hit those comments up, and we'll get back to you.